Hey, Keepers, what do you say? What do you know? This is Keith DiPiazza coming at you from the cave, man, from the beautiful man cave. Hey, today's episode is band stories and birth of a melody. All right, well, it was back in the late 70s. We had a bass player that I played with in the band. He was a good friend and everything. His name was Gutch, Gary Mandarino. All right. Gutch was about, I don't know, 6'5", and he was just pure muscle. I mean, he could carry my Hammond M3 up the steps over his head, just how strong the guy was. Gutch was an artist, besides being a good bass player, and had a really good sense of humor and real creative sense of humor in that. Well, the story is we used to have band practice above a parts store. Auto parts store is a Napa store, actually, kind of. And so we'd have band practice up there. And, well, we were practicing, and Gutch was talking to like the guitar players, and they were working out some type of part. And also, that was back during the time where use of cocaine was prevalent. It was like, massive amounts. And basically, we were all white punks on dope and pot and all that stuff of the 80s and 70s. And so, anyway, Gutch is trying to have an intelligent conversation with the guitar players about some type of arrangement thing. And I stumbled across a melody, and I'm actually very proud of it. In the past, I've put challenges out to everyone to try to write something worse than this. And no one's taken me up on it. And everyone I talk to about this melody, it's 100% conviction that nothing worse can be written. All right? And this is the melody. And there's different parts of it. There's one part. Well, what I did at first is while Gutch was talking to everybody, I was just playing it real soft. And you could see Gutch's flesh tone go from like flesh tone, normal, to start to fade to purple, all right? And then I would start playing it a little bit louder. And you could start to see the vein in his neck start to bulge, you know what I mean? And then I just, I would just keep it going, and then all I said, "Hey!" Actually, a couple of times he's actually tossed his briefcase at me, and some of the ways that I would play it with an attitude and also with a facial expression. It's like, you ever look at somebody and you go, "Man, I would just love to just if I could just, oh man," and that's how I would look at him when I'd play it, because and I would do like different parts. So it's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna just get you so bad." This part, "I'm gonna really mess you up." Then I would add a part like, and that's like, "I'm just kidding. No, I'm not." So that was the melody, and it's actually became famous in the area because people remember me, and I named it "Dead Dogs Don't Bite." Now I've actually put words to it. Dead dogs don't bite. Live ones do. Dead dogs don't bite. Live ones do. Then back when they came out with the workstations, when I had my first workstations, I think it was an X3, Korg X3. I actually took the melody and I used orchestra sounds, and I made this melody into a whole symphony, and it lasted like, I don't know, like 30 minutes of this crap. All right, and then I would make mass copies of it. And then I would sneak out to Gutch's car and I would take his cassette out and I would put that in. So when he'd go in his car, as soon as he started his car up, it would be playing. Then he would just like kind of rip the tape apart. I mean, one time he stuck the cassette in his mouth and just ripped it apart like that, you know. But I've had copies. I made copies. And so I'd always get him back with it. But that's the story of the melody. And I'm actually proud of it because I don't think anything could be written to match that. And the best way to play it is like also is play it partially in time, then purposely go out of time. So, bad. It's my good buddy Tommy Johnson. He agrees with me wholly. It's totally awful. It's bad. It's there's only one thing that could possibly be worse than that, and that's a sound we found on the Roland FA-76 Phantom. They have one sound on there, and it's got to be the ugliest sound I've ever heard. And I have that posted up on YouTube, and but it's bad. It's bad. I don't know. I think Tommy told me he thinks that's a little bit worse than Dead Dogs Don't Bite. But it's quite an offensive medley, you know. And also playing the medley itself is offensive, all right. But at the same time, while you're doing an offensive medley, you have to learn defense moves, you know, because while you're playing it, you will get things tossed at you. So, you know, I've always seen like the sideways ducks are really good. You know, maybe like a back duck if it's coming from the side. And, you know, so when you play it, you always have to know your surroundings, you know. And also I recommend protective gear, you know. Football helmet, it's good. Shoulder pads, you know. And because, you know, when things are tossed, they're tossed with great anger. And but it's a wonderful medley. So that's my story today. All right. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys would like to receive an instructional video how to play The Joys of Dead Dog Don't Bite, I would be more than happy to teach you. But since the camera's kind of facing down on the keyboard, this is how it goes. So you got a G, G flat, B and a B flat. Then you start on the F sharp. While you're doing that, and basically you jam around on it. And then the bridge is, and then you can go into, and then you go into the just kidding part. All that is a G major 7th to an F major 7th. That's the just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Thank you for this. All right. So, God bless. Have a good day.